like so. That's your pattern. Now you need a couple of these for the top and bottom edges of the bracelet, so using some stiff card like this, which comes from an old soap powder packet, draw around the pattern that you've got twice. And of course, if you use the card doubled up and stuck together very firmly, you'll have a bracelet that's twice as strong. And once you've got a couple of these shapes, draw them round like so. Once you've got a couple of them, cut them out until you're left with those. Now they go one above the other on the finished bracelet like this, and the space in the middle is filled with paper rolls. Now these rolls are made of strips of paper the same length and width as the wristband of your bracelet, so you've already got a pattern, and if you use a ruler to draw the edges you can get them nice and straight. Now you need 10 of these, and to make the roll itself use a felt tip pen or a pencil, and the paper that I'm using is writing paper, which is a nice sort to use. Roll it up nice and tight, keeping it tight as you go, and a spot of glue on the end when you reach it, like that. Keeping it tightly rolled, slide the pencil or the felt tip pen away, and that's the first of your rolls. Now, using the base of the bracelet and working from the outer edge, put plenty of glue onto the bracelet and stick the first roll in position. Now the roll that goes alongside it is obviously going to need plenty of glue on the bottom and also along its length where it's being stuck excuse me, to the roll next door. So push that into position, and once you've got 5 working along from one edge, start at the other edge, put another 5 into position so that you're left with that shape with a gap in the middle. And then you can put the top of the bracelet with lots of glue into position like that. Now once that's dry and you've got that shape, you're ready to add the central panel with all the controls on it. Using some more stiff card, the same width as the bracelet and about 6 centimeters long, bend it just slightly at the outer edges so that it fits over the curved shape of the bracelet, and stick that in position. Now the control panel itself has got an oblong cut away at one side and backed with that kind of crinkly plastic that you get on cake packet linings or biscuit packets. And the other side, these small holes are a bit fiddly to actually cut out individually, so it's probably best to use one of those punches, like a file punch, or you could use felt tip pen and draw one red circle, one green circle and one black circle once the bracelet itself is painted, or you could use strips of coloured paper instead. Stick that into position and you're ready to add the wristband on the back. Now again, you need a lot of glue on those rolls of paper because they're rather an odd shape, and then stick the wristband into position with the fastening at one end until you're left with that when it's all dried. And then you're ready to add the final decoration, which is these studs along the top and the bottom of the bracelet. And I wonder if you can guess what they're made from. It's very ingenious. They're actually dome-shaped buttons, like so, with the shanks cut away at the back. This is rather a fiddly and a tricky job to do, so it's probably best to get a grown-up to help you. And if you haven't got buttons that shape, you could always use bits of foil moulded to suit. Now you need 12 of these, 3 along each side on the top and bottom of the bracelet, like this. Again, I'm using double-sided tape for speed, but you're probably better off using stiffer glue along each edge. And once those are in position, along the top and bottom of the bracelet, you can paint it silver, like the bracelet itself and like the one I'm wearing. 2 coats of silver paint give a nice shiny finish, so wait till the first coat of paint is dry before you go on to the second. And when you see this bracelet next to the photo of the real thing, I think you'll agree that it's an amazingly good replica.
It's always good to have something that you can't buy in the shops as well, a bit of one-upmanship there. Well, now we have 2 very important guests. With just 3 days to go now before the general election, with me today I have the Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, and the leader of the Labour Party.